Hello.
How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Better now that you're here.
Looks like we already have some people logged in and ready to go.
Well, they're bucking for an A out of this class.
Well, good to see everyone. As soon as it hits 3 o'clock, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just getting my screen shared. Can everyone see a YouTube page up where it says Beyond the Harvest? Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we'll give everyone about 1 more minute.
I saw a thing, class of 21, senior ditch day champions of the universe.
Yeah. Could be one of those days.
Yeah, well, all this Zoom stuff gives you plenty of opportunity to.
Definitely. So since there's a group here, you should be able to just join if you get kicked out, you should be able to get back in easily. So welcome to our third field day. We have Mr. Vernon Peterson with us today, and he is going to be sharing a little bit about his company and his family farm. What I've gathered when I've met with him and watched their entire YouTube video is that they're very family oriented. And even walking through the packing house, I just noticed he talks to all the different employees there. And if you were actually there in the packing house, you'd see there's a bunch of different people. And he made an effort to stop and say hello to his employees, which I don't think every boss does. Especially when everyone's busy working. So that's something I picked up on when I was there. And I think that they have a really unique family story. So without further ado, the way that we have this set up is a little differently. We have a YouTube video that they had made a while back. We don't have time to watch the entire episode, but I will email you guys all the links so you can watch the whole thing if you wanted to on your own time. We're going to watch about 18 minutes of it, and they're in different segments. In between each segment, Mr. Peterson is going to just step in and add any other information that he'd like. And then that's your opportunity to also ask questions about what you just saw. It's going to be best if you just unmute yourself and ask the question, then to type it in the chat, just because the chat's going to show up on my screen. That's getting shared with everyone, which is not a big deal. It's just going to block some of the video and I might not catch it right away. So feel free just to ask or write it down and then ask when there's a pause. Does anyone have any questions before we get started? Okay. If you don't hear anything, let me know. I hope it works.
My grandfather walked on this same soil, and farmed it.
Listen to the birds, the sound, the chirping. What was it like to grow up here in the farm like this?
You go to a conventional farm, you don't hear that because everything's sterile.
Yeah, the sounds.
We get in the orchard, you're going to hear crickets.
Yeah.
We were like a working economic unit. We're a family.
Yeah.
And we worked hard. We started early, and it felt like I needed to be doing my part, to make the family function.
I think that's a real key word when it comes to family. You think about the generations of family that have been here, your family. How important is that to you?
It's really something people can't explain if they haven't lived it. So like your great-grandfather came from Sweden and had this farm, and the successive generations have taken it through wars and depressions, and they hand the ball to you. To fail isn't an option, whatever it takes. If it's 18 hours every day, you do it because you feel that weight of needing to pass the farm to the next generation.
How long have you felt that? Because I know you've been part of the farming operation since you were 5 years old, I believe, working out here on the farm.
Yeah.
How long is that? Is that passion for success been with you when it comes to the farming business?
I knew I wanted to farm before I graduated from high school. I'm at Fresno State. It's my junior year, and Dad gets cancer. And 7 months from diagnosis till he passed. And so here I am, little old Vern on our little farm, and I got to figure it out. And I've got a mom and brothers, and everybody's kind of looking to me. So it's a challenge.
One of the things that's really amazing about you is that you live on the principle of family, but that family is extended for you. It goes beyond your immediate family to the workers, to the pickers, to the packers. I mean, they're all part of, it seems to me, the part of your larger family, and the way you treat them is really incredible.
If you think about the 100 year-round employees and then their families, it's pretty serious. For those 100 families, this is it.
Yeah.
And you want to have a safe place to work, a profitable place to work, a respectful place to work, and a place where you feel like your contribution is changing the world.
We forget about the higher good of food, right? I mean, you are doing a higher good, and you're growing a product that people enjoy really all over the world. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I think about the families sitting around a table and enjoying a meal. I just see that what we do brings families together.
All right, Vernon, did you have anything else you would like to add? And about a little bit more background story. I know it's hard because I had to cut and splice to fit our time frame today, but feel free, and maybe some students will have some questions while I queue up the next segment.
Yeah, I think we're going to it isn't like our life is work over here and positive contribution over there. It isn't like families over here and everybody else is over there. There's a holistic view of how we of how we can create a company that that has a positive impact from every single angle. So, just in tangible ways, all of our employees and their families, we have dental, vision, we have a nurse practitioner for free for everybody and their families. It doesn't matter if they're out on a ladder or working on the packing line. We have 4% 401k. And we work year round. So we figured out how to make a year round job. That doesn't mean we don't have seasonal employees. During harvest, field workers probably average 17, 18 bucks an hour. In the non-harvest time, field workers typically make about 25 bucks an hour during harvest. So we have some seasonal that come in just for that and then go. We're the only EFI certified stone fruit farm in North America. EFI is the Equitable Food Initiative, so that just certifies that we're wonderful, swell guys. And I don't want to make this, like it's some like we're, like we live in a monastery or a mission, or we're a family, and you guys all are part of a family, and you argue and you got stuff, but at the end of the day, you work it out, right?
Right.
And we actually did a 40-hour training, bilingual training, 40 hours how do we from the bottom up, how do we make this a better company? We did that this time last year. So anyway, tangible stuff. That's enough, Katie.
Awesome. Thank you.
That guy, that guy Ray Del Campo there, he did that like 2 years ago, and he passed away himself last fall.
Wow.
So he did dine out along the road. If you watch that, you know, here in Fresno, he's a really great guy, and just bam, cancer hit him, and he was dead a few months later.
That's
So
unfortunate.
anyhow, that's just a little aside.
Okay, so before I show them the next segment, which focuses on the harvesting and packing, I think in this episode it's peaches. Do you want to share with them a little bit about what else you guys grow and pack? Because I know in their kits at home they have citrus that you provided for them, and thank you for that. That was super generous of you. Um, what else would they see depending on the time of year, and they just happen to be seeing peaches?
Yeah. So you guys got ripped off, but you're used to it by now. Normally, you all come out and we split you up into little 3, 4, 5-person squads, and you would spend like 10 minutes working in the control room, making all the gizmos go, working with, then rotate over and do quality control, rotate over and do pallet tagging, rotate over and stack boxes, rotate over and put fruit in boxes. And our team kind of enjoyed that day when all the kids came, because it wasn't like me or the foreman or somebody said, here's what we do. We just let you work with our people, and, you know, 2 or 3 hours. Then we went out to the farm. You see in the background there, we grow chickens. We've done that since the turn of the last century. We grow a couple 100,000 organic chickens at a time. All of our farming has been organic since 2002. Our main thing is we grow stone fruit, peaches, plums, nectarines, apricots. We pack that for ourselves, and then we pack stone fruit, citrus, pomegranates, a few persimmons for ourselves and about 80 of our neighbors. And that's what you got to see when you came out and got the citrus, Katie. It's kind of interesting to be out on the farm and see some, you know, organic principles. Organic is proactive versus reactive. And it's better when you can see that. So that's what we do.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions before I hit play? And feel free, I can always pause, and Vernon, you can add more, or students, you can unmute yourself and ask a question, and I can pause and we can answer it. If not, here we
As
go.
individuals, we've all got to work together, and we can accomplish so much more than any of us could otherwise. What most people don't understand is a given stone fruit variety is only good for a week. So we're going to pick those nectarines. We're going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. The following Wednesday will probably be done, and we'll be on to the next variety. So for me to have nectarines, for instance, from the 1st of May to the end of September, I have to have that many different varieties.
Oh, wow.
And so you have that many varieties of yellow nectarines, that many varieties of white nectarines. But our whole deal is to have a symphony of fruit every week for lots of reasons. First is for our workers. We can't have a lot of work this week and no work next week. Second is for our customers. We can't just have peaches this week and no peaches next week.
The fruit that you're actually picking in the field, how much of that gets to market, and the distinction of the varieties?
Yeah, that can vary between 15 and 30% ends up being called out. There's seldom more than 2 or 3% of the fruit that you wouldn't eat. It's got some decay or some issue like that. Usually it's a cosmetic thing, which doesn't affect the flavor at all.
What happens to you, Vern, when you wake up in the morning and you walk out to this, and all I hear is these sounds, sounds of nature, the birds chirping, the crickets. So what's that like for you?
It's it's a blessing and it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, you want to take that and you want to give it as a gift to the world, because really these nectarines we're going to see, or peaches we're going to pick, it's our gift. It's dessert. We get to grow dessert.
I think about all your accomplishments as a farmer, and I think, what would your dad say about where you are as a farming business?
Oh, I think about that a lot. I think he would be really proud. I think he'd love to see his grandkids and, well, great grandkids, you know, for goodness sake. So, yeah, that's a shame. He was 48. Anyway, yeah, I think he'd be proud. It's all about relationships. It's all about just everybody working together. And the team we're working with grasps that.
Ramon and I talk every morning. I mean, every morning. He is more important to me than just about anybody else. These guys are more important than I am. Without them, I can't do what I can do for Vernon and Homegrown. The way the tree is shaped, Ramon and the team, they make that decision back in December and January. And so he is determining how much fruit is going to be on this tree back then. Ramon comes through here and he has a formula of how much fruit he's going to leave, the spacing. So when he comes back here in about 60 days, when he wants to start picking fruit, he already knows how he left it and what he's expecting.
This hanger, this is the old one. Next year, I cut it up here and leave that one, the new one, because the best fruit is in the new hangers.
And there is a science that when you're pruning, you can already take a look at the fruit wood and you can determine what's going to be fruit wood or what's going to be leaf. So he's already in his mind already setting up for next year.
Hey. Pues trabajar como familia, sí te podría decir, como no familia, no tengo mucha experiencia. La familia es muy bonito. Todos nos llevamos bien, todos los que trabajamos aquí. No es muy difícil, porque ya normalmente todos sabemos lo que vamos a hacer y siempre hay armonía en la compañía, no es muy difícil.
My boss, Vernon, all time say, I want to see everybody work like family, like brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers. Respect everybody.
Ramón, estamos aquí en un campo de durazno. ¿Qué pasa aquí? ¿Qué están haciendo ahorita?
Piscando. Estamos en tiempo de cosecha ahorita.
Y tienes pequeños árboles y grande fruta, ese que quieres aquí en un campo, ¿qué no?
Es lo que queremos, es lo que buscamos. Primeramente, buscamos el volumen, pero la calidad también.
¿Y cuántos trabajadores tienes aquí?
20 personas y un jefe de cuadrilla.
20 personas para todos estos árboles. ¿Y cuándo van a terminar?
Les toma un tiempo de 5 o 6 horas para terminar este campo.
¿Y cuántos árboles tienes aquí?
Son fuera 4 acres, vienen siendo 700 árboles.
Tienen todo aquí, los tots y los
tots, sí.
Me va a dar uno aquí.
Ahorita te voy a dar a uno para que piscas, aprendas a piscar.
Me enseña, maestro.
Este va así.
Dentro.
Sí.
Va acá chiquito.
Le podemos dar más grande.
Soy gordo.
Uno más gordo.
Voy a hacerlo acá.
Chano, quítaselo, Chano.
Chano es gordito. Chano,
Préstame tu terate, por
yeah.
favor.
Necesito uno que es gordito.
Ahorita la va a llenar. Ok, esto va aquí.
Sí. Y aquí.
No, al revés.
Oh, otro lado.
Así.
Los
Ok.
snap.
Buscamos siempre el color.
El color.
El tamaño.
Este es no.
Perdón.
Es
Este está
verde.
verde. Este está verde.
Eso quiere que tiene mucho color.
Que tenga mucho color y grande.
Ok.
La mejor fruta
Solo arriba.
arriba y aquí en las puntas. Mira,
Aquí.
esta está muy buena.
Sí.
Esa. Ay, todo ese arriba está bueno. E irlo a vaciar todo este.
Estos aquí.
Estos están buenos, este está bueno. Este aquí de arriba. Todos esos están buenos.
Yeah. This is not lazy man's work right here. This is real man's work right here. Y lo pongo arriba.
Arriba de la otra.
¿Cómo? Just quita esto.
Sí, pero necesita detener la caja
Acá abajo.
y subirla arriba.
Ya está.
Now what do you think?
It's hard work.
Yeah, I know.
Muy duro. Muy duro. I have a lot of respect for you, Ramon.
I want to allow for anyone to ask any questions about that before I let this keep going into the packing house and the cold storage. Anything about harvesting? Okay.
So, Matt, tell me a little bit what it means to be responsible for quality control here at the packing shed.
So quality control, as far as us, is making sure that what we give our customers is to their satisfaction. We're not going to send any defects, any certain things that they don't allow, making sure that the right product gets to our customers and we're able to satisfy all the customers through the grocery stores.
Yeah. What has to happen where your lenses are looking on the product before it gets out of here that you know the quality control is taking place?
So there's three actual action points. One's going to be the field. Once they bring it in, you got the crew guys out there who are actually looking, picking the right stuff. So that's our first spot. Our second spot is going to be actually the pack line. We are on the line looking, making sure nothing's getting in the box, any type of defects, any bird damage, any certain things that's not supposed to be in the box doesn't allow itself to get into the box. Accidents do happen, and that's our job to make sure they don't. And then the last point of check is actually right before it gets on the truck to the grocery store. So that's where we go into the cold rooms. We're constantly looking at product, making sure nothing's softening up, no condition issues are coming on, and that our customers are satisfied. So as soon as we receive the product, we wash it, dry it, bring it down right here, and it starts tumbling down. As soon as this fruit starts rolling down, we start getting to the blowers. We let that blow down, dry it up a little bit. Then we go to our Weeda machine, which is our defects. And that has so many cameras just flashing at it, and it starts pulling out all the defects, all the small size, all the scarring, all these little things that play a factor that we want pulled out. All of these have little solenoids that computer acts with this rollers right here, and it kicks it off per size, per grade. We come down this way, watch your step. We got our awesome graders right here. So all their job is to do is to look at if they see any defects or anything come out this way, they grab it, they pull it, they throw it down our chutes, and that goes to our juice or our holding, our cold line right there, and it continues rolling on. We have our sticker machine now. No longer do the girls have to sticker the product themselves. It prints out whatever it's a fluid, whatever commodity it is. The sticker machine actually prints the label on it, the PLU, and sticks it on the fruit, and it sends it right down. As you can see, the fruit is now stickered. It continues to come down. If you look at the way it's going down, those little solenoids are actually kicking it off, pushing it off into an individual table right down to the ladies. The girls actually do a little bit of their own grading themselves. The fruit comes to them and they're actually doing two boxes. They're doing a number one box and they're actually doing an eco box, which is our number two grade. And that's the stuff where if there's any scars or certain quality issues involved with it, they're actually making that box and separating the two and dividing them and pushing them out.
So you want to grab a box 5?
Behind me, this one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
You want to grab one of the stickers right here?
Sticker right here. Okay.
And you are going to put it right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Is there a reason why we have to wear gloves?
Yes. It's organic. You
Yeah.
cannot touch it with
So the oil of our
yeah.
hands,
lotion, whatever, perfume. So you need one of those
black ones, put it in.
And you just grab the fruit and check if it's good.
What am I looking for? Just
For
cuts,
worms,
bruises.
holes.
Like this one has a little cuts.
That one passed. That's good.
That's okay.
A little bit, not that much.
These. Tell me, how long you been working here?
I just barely turned 2 years here.
2 years?
Yeah, on the 16th of this month.
Wow. Are you
Yeah.
from here?
No, from Hanford.
Hanford.
Yes.
You take the drive every day?
Yes, gotta
Yeah.
drive all the way over here.
So I'm not putting in the right fruit.
No, you're not, but you're doing good. It's your first time.
How do you like working here?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. People here like family, right?
Yeah, I love these women.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marbella would have called you already if you would have sent that box like this.
Your goal is to pack as many as you can within
Yes.
the hour, right? The more you pack, the more money you
The
make.
more money
Yeah.
you get.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There.
Flip it around and then push it in.
Push it into the. That's awesome.
You did it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Once they pack the boxes, they actually slide them under the tables. The tables actually have the rollers and they roll them all the way out. So it continues coming down, continues coming down. If there's ever anything wrong with the size, with the weight, everything, you have an automatic kicker right here. This machine right here is going to push the box out, send it down there so it does not go on any further and it has a hold position. This is usually my station right here. I'll grab a couple boxes off the line, grab them, pull them. We'll start looking at fruit, just making sure that certain stuff does not get involved. Once you give it the okay, you go ahead, throw it back out, and continue it coming. All the boxes go down to our stackers down here. They fill them all the way up. For stone fruit, we go up to 80 to 88 boxes per pallet, depending on size. Citrus, it goes down to 54. And as soon as they do it, they take it out and then we tag them. We have a great tagging lady. Once it goes over those curtains, shipping then pulls the tag off, puts it on the left-hand side, sticks it to that pallet. They redline it in, which redline is a gun that actually you scan the barcode, put it in its destination, whatever row it's in. You put it in that destination and then you're able to go through the computer database and actually find out where this pallet is located and what row and what tier. They do a fantastic job, and this fast-paced environment, we're keeping up with it.
When this really beautifully complex.
Okay, so that about wraps up the packing portion of it. Vernon, I was hoping that you could share with the group a little bit more about organics versus like conventional farming. So we've heard multiple times in the video that you guys farm strictly organic. So it'd be great to hear a little bit more about that for those that don't know the difference.
Well, organic kind of functions in 98. The word organic became the property of the United States government. To use it without their permission is a felony. United States of America versus Katie wouldn't be a good day. So, so it functions under the Mother May I principle. So we have a list of materials, anything we want to use. We have lists, and we pretty much work off of that list of available material. But you know, it's a little bit of science. It's a lot of experience. It's pretty cool. So I've been a organic farmer for 19 years. I was a conventional farmer for 25 before that. So I've been a conventional farmer longer than I've been a organic farmer. Organic really utilizes all of our senses. It's very proactive instead of reactive. So we can't fix problems in organic. We have to prevent problems. So we have to assume we're going to get this bug or this decay organism and prevent it instead of waiting until we have it. And organic is very pro-life, where conventional is, the conventional mindset is, what's my problem? How do I kill it? Organic is more, what is, who is the enemy of my enemy? How do I encourage the good guys and discourage the bad guys? Today we're spraying some bloom spray, but it's basically probiotics, if you're familiar with probiotics. So we're covering the little blossoms that are just emerging with positive microorganisms, and they prevent negative microorganisms. We use winter grasses to suppress summer weeds, as an example. It's just really a hoot. And the other thing is, I'll be 64 in a couple of months. I am so learning. I'm learning more today than I was 20 years ago. It's the whole field of microbiology is just huge. The whole field of what's going on in our soil. There's more microbes in a double handful of good organic earth than there are people on the planet, as an example. How do we encourage those guys to free up the fertility that's in our soil? So I don't know. Was that enough, Katie?
Yeah,
I could go on all day.
Hopefully that answered some people's questions.
And then, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Last year you talked to the kids about how long it takes to convert from conventional to organic. Can you address that with a new group? Because I thought that was kind of staggering in a way.
Yeah, 36 months and 1 day. So with so 3 years. And it's really the right number. You will see, if you have a conventional farm where you've been using herbicides for the last 30 years or whatever, by the end of the 3rd year, going into that 4th year, you will see the native, I don't know where they come from, but you will see the native grasses coming back onto your farm that literally have not been there. They might not have been there for 30 or 40 years. I don't know where they come from, but they come back. And so that's the deal. 36 months and 1 day. And if you're, that's now, if you're growing vegetables, you could just let your farm sit out there for 3 years. But if you're a stone fruit farmer like us, you've got to farm organically and get paid conventionally for 3 years.
Great question, Jenny. Does anyone else have any questions at this time? So at home, they have some kits, Vernon, that have the fruit that you provided with me last week. So I know you had cut some open to show me the differences there. In their kits, they do have the knives, or they're at home that they can grab a knife if they wanted to cut them open. I don't know if you wanted to add anything about what kind of fruit they got and what the difference is. I know that they have a navel orange, they have a mandarin, a lemon, and a cara. So that's provided for them. I know none of them have their cameras on to show us those things. Maybe a few brave souls will do that, but if you have anything to add about what went home with them, that'd be great.
Didn't we give them some bloods also?
Maybe, and I forgot. There's, I mean, they could cut them open and they'll see, because the blood orange will be red.
If you cut them open, guys, if it looks like an orange and then you cut it open and it's yellow inside, it's an orange. If it's pink inside, it's a cara. And if it is dark red inside, like blood red, it is a blood orange. Mandarins are the little guys, you think of the labels they're marketed under, like cuties and halos and peels, but they're really mandarins, and there are about 5 main varieties that we handle between November and May here in the Valley. But they're all marketed under whatever organization, like if you're the Wonderful Company, you're marketing mandarins as halos all year long. You're not marketing them as satsumas, clementines, page, murcot, tango, like that. So that's the little guys everybody's familiar with. Lemons, you got to be familiar with. Make lemonade.
They're a quiet group today. Normally there's a lot more questions going on.
Oh, they probably just hit record and then
So I would encourage you
continue.
guys with your kits, like you can taste the difference between those. Maybe you've never had a Cara before. I know I hadn't. You obviously can just look at them as well. If you're not into tasting them, maybe someone else in your family isn't like citrus. But if you have questions about those, feel free to ask. This is your expert that you have here. And
Did they get a Satsuma?
what was that?
Satsumas are over. I think what I sent home with Katie was the page variety, which fills the January gap, but it's a little tough to peel. Whatever, they taste good, but they're not as easy peel as we would like.
Are your Satsumas going to Whole Foods like the chickens?
2 different deals, but certainly Whole Foods, Costco, all the usual suspects, Jenny.
I only ask
Believe it or
because
not,
I buy
Go
them
ahead.
here and then ship them to my friend in Missouri because they're her favorite. And she's like, when she came out to visit, she was like, I can't believe this is like the best. This is the best orange I've ever had in my life. And I was just like, meh, they're here all the time. Like, it's like for me, it was so normal to have it. And she was like, no, this is the best. It should be the only one they sell. And I was like, all right. So when you live somewhere where you don't have access to those things, your appreciation obviously goes up. So the Satsumas are the ones that all my friends ask me for. So
no, that's absolutely true. Satsuma is like the Alberta peach of the Mandarin world. It's a much better eating, certainly a lot easier peeling, but it's also tough to handle. We have machine baggers. You wouldn't machine bag a Satsuma. You've got a hand bag Satsumas, for instance. But yeah, she found it, you found it, and guess what tree we have right here outside the house? It's a Satsuma tree.
Thanks, Vernon. Anyone else have any other questions?
I saw some typed there.
Yeah, there's a few comments. Someone said they used to eat Cara oranges a lot because their brother used to work in the fields and they'd pick them. And then someone's brother really enjoyed eating them. So it sounds like some siblings got into the kits and ate them. And they said they were really good. So they said, thank you.
Cool. I think it would be worth just a couple minutes to write down a couple of things, class. And this is easily worth $100,000 each item I'm going to give to you. So if your pencil's ready, tell me when you're ready.
I mean, I'm ready.
All right. The first one is anything that's measured and published improves automatically. Anything that's measured and published improves automatically. So if you're a manager of any business, it doesn't matter if it's a chicken restaurant or a chicken farm, Figure out what's important to you. Shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 things. Then figure out how to measure that. And then figure out how to when I say publish, figure out how to show those results to everybody who's participating. So anything that's measured and published improves automatically. That's a business principle that will serve you well no matter what field you go into. The second one's a little longer, but it kind of encapsulates what we've been talking about. And that is, and it's long, so get ready. Farming draws together into a unified whole, W-H-O-L-E, the loose skeins of knowledge, S-K-I-E-N-S, the loose skeins of knowledge from many closely and distantly related fields of knowledge, from many closely and distantly related fields of knowledge, and capitalizes on them in a purely monetary sense, to the fullest possible extent. Again, farming draws together into a unified whole the loose skeins of knowledge from many closely and distantly related fields of knowledge, and capitalizes on them in a purely monetary sense to the fullest possible extent. So regardless what your interest in life is, it can be expressed in agriculture. It can be robotics, it can be chemistry, it can be biology, it can be mechanics, it can be human relations, it can even be photojournalism like you saw with Ray there. Farming uses everything to deliver in what it does, but it has to figure out how to make those things generate income. That's why in a purely monetary sense. So I got to attend Fresno State for 1 semester where I had to drop out, but that was in Professor Petrucci's VIT 101, and he said, this will be on the first test, and if you miss 1 word, you will flunk that test. So guess what? I memorized it.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, thank you, Vernon. Does anyone else have any other questions before we let him go? I know he has another meeting via Zoom here shortly, but we do have time to answer any last minute questions you guys may have. If not, Vernon, I just want to personally thank you again for letting me come see the packing house for a short minute and donating the fruit and taking time out of your day today. I know you have a busy schedule and sharing your guys' family story and what you guys do over on your family farm. We really appreciate it. And we hope that next year we can actually come everyone as a group so that we can participate more hands-on in a way, and hopefully things will be cleared up for next year and we can get to do that. So I just wanted to say thank you again. I really appreciate you taking the time to help us out. And without further ado, if you guys have questions, you can stay on for a little bit longer. If not, you guys are free to go. I would definitely check in with your teachers. This is recorded, so I will send this out to them once our office gets it published. and you can have access to it. And I'll also email you the link to the YouTube video that we watched today if you wanted to see the entire segment. It's really good. I watched the whole thing a couple of times to prepare for this. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thank you again, Vernon.
Have a great day. See ya.
See you guys.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.